Right, hi everyone, I'm 7 weeks pregnant today. This is the second time I've tried to film this video now. First time Izzy was asleep and she stayed asleep for about 2 minutes, so that's gone down the pan. And now she's destroying the kitchen. Right, so a lot has happened since last week. I had my first doctor's appointment on Thursday, and that went differently to how I expected because I was booked in for an early scan. I told her that I'd been having some cramps and just that I was generally constantly worrying about having another miscarriage. So she was lovely. She just said she'd ring up Shrewsbury and see if they could put me in, and they did the next day, which was really unusual. It usually takes a few weeks, so we weren't expecting that. But yeah, she's lovely. I'm really happy that I saw her instead of my normal one. When I told her I was pregnant, she said, "Congratulations, how long were you trying for?" Which was like a breath of fresh air compared to being told my options about being pregnant. Being told that I can have an abortion if I want, like last time. So it was nice to just be viewed as an adult having a baby with another adult. Right, so she dated me further along than I am. She dated me at 7 weeks in one day, and I was 6 weeks in one day, because she uses I don't know whether all doctors use these, but it's like a circle, and they just move it around depending on when your last menstrual period was. And that's based on a normal 28-day cycle. Mine's a 33 days, so it just put me ahead a little tiny bit more than I am. So when I went for my scan the next day, I told them that I was dated at 7 weeks, but I was probably less. So they did an internal scan, and if you haven't had one of those, it's like how can I describe this? They don't do it over your tummy. It's like a transvaginal scan. So they just insert the tiniest tip of this ultrasound thing into your vagina, and it's just like a normal scan. It didn't hurt. It was a tiny bit uncomfortable, but only I suppose if you're just nervous, you're going to be a bit tense. So yeah, it wasn't horrible, and she was very nice and made me feel comfortable. Yes, we saw a baby who was very small. I think I can't remember how big the sac was. I know that the actual fetus, the baby, was I think just over 2 millimeters, so really, really tiny. They said that everything looked normal and everything looked good. It definitely wasn't ectopic, which I think is the reason they sent me, because I've been having cramps mainly on my left side. So it's all intrauterine and looking good. We could see more of the yolk sac than we could of the baby, so we didn't have a picture that time round. But they couldn't see a heartbeat, and that really, really panicked me at the time, because I thought that I just had a miscarriage and that was it. But they said that it's quite normal to not see a heartbeat that early on, and they were going to book me in for another scan in 2 weeks' time to check again. So I have another scan, not this Friday coming, but the next Friday. So we will go and see a little bean again and just pray that there is a heartbeat and everything's fine. I'm almost positive that everything will be fine, although I was really worried after the scan, because I have felt so sick these last few days. I know I said in my last video that my sickness is going away, but I think that was just famous last words, because I just feel permanently hungover, and I don't know, I suppose if you've never been hungover, it's like car sickness. That's the only way I can describe it. Just really intense car sickness all the time. To try and combat that, I've been having crackers, which I was advised by Little Mama UK, and that has really worked, so thank you for that one. I think it's a vicious cycle of getting really hungry because I don't want to eat anything because I feel sick, and then feeling sick because I'm too hungry. So I just find if I keep nibbling on my crackers, then I'm okay normally. I'm still really craving orange juice. Someone else said, they commented on one of my other videos saying that it's a sign of lacking iron. So I've been trying to eat more iron, cabbage, beans, broccoli, meat, red meat, and I still crave orange juice. So I think it's just one of those things that I'm just going to like. I've always liked orange juice. I just like it more now. Most of the foods kind of repulse me at the moment. I just can't stand the thought of eating anything. The smell of most things just makes me feel sick as well. Um, it's strange. I mean, most of the food that I can think about eating as being nice are really fatty foods. Like, I could eat a fried egg. I could eat beans. I could eat a Chinese takeaway, like any day, any time of day. I could eat that. I really like that. But then things like just normal meals, I can't stand the thought of. My mom makes this vegetable soup, which I usually love, and we give it Izzy to eat sometimes. And last night I tried to feed her the soup, and I've never felt so sick in my life. So yeah, I don't know what that's all about. So I've checked that my hormones are rising up still. I've been taking pregnancy tests, as you know. I had some of the strip tests left over. I haven't taken one for a while, and then after my scan, I was kind of worried about the heartbeat, but Andy's parents are down, so I couldn't test. They've gone today, so I've taken a test, and I don't know if it's going to show up, but the test line, which is this end, is darker than the control. They look quite similar there, actually. Oopsie. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's definitely darker. So my hormones are still on the rise, which is fantastic. I'm still having all my symptoms. I'm still tired. So I'm feeling confident about this pregnancy now. Obviously, I'm still really cautious, and I do still worry about miscarrying. I have vivid nightmares about miscarrying. So I've just got to pray that everything will be okay on Friday, if not this week, the next week. And I will get a picture from that scan definitely out, even if I have to beg one of them, so I can show you all a little baby. And if it's only one, we were kind of thinking that maybe it was twins, because breastfeeding increases your chances of twins by 9 times the normal rate. So we were a bit worried, but yeah, there's only one baby in there, unless I missed it. No, it's definitely only one. Still breastfeeding Izzy. Breastfeeding is still going perfectly fine, no different to normal. She will have a feed in the morning and in the evening. She sleeps all night, which is fantastic. I get a lie-in most evenings because Andy's amazing. It doesn't matter how long I sleep. In the morning I just feel like I've had about 2 hours sleep. I'm just exhausted. So yes, I will. My eyes are itchy. I think dry eyes are a normal sign of pregnancy as well. My eyes are quite sore. And I'm thirsty all the time. I drink pint after pint after pint of water, which in turn means I spend half of my life on the toilet at the moment. I really hope you can hear me over this noise. Right, I'm going to show you my 7-week belly. I think I'm probably the same as I was last week. I feel kind of smaller, but I don't know if that's just because I'm getting used to being the size that I am. I don't know. Some days I feel bigger, some days I feel smaller. Oh, you can't really see me. It's I don't know. I don't know if it's. I think I'm big. I mean, there's obviously something there, but whether it's bigger than last week, I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm just getting bigger here. I really feel like I've put on weight here. I think my hips are getting bigger and my jeans are getting tighter, so I really can't wait to just be able to wear these jeans. It's so hard, especially down here. It's hard. I really can't wait to have a proper baby bump again. I love being pregnant. I love just having fun. I love everything about it. So, yes. I think Andy's going to give Izzy her lunch. So yeah, I will see you next week for week 8, and will I have my pictures by? No, I won't have my pictures by next week. Yeah, I thought it was right. Right. I'll see you next week anyway. Bye, guys.